Okay, so today I played some Guitar Hero again, which is only relevant to something else, the main point of the video. So, as you may know, I haven't had great luck. Like I modify my own controllers, but I'm also like really lazy, and I don't generally like working on them. It was fine in the beginning, and it was a lot of fun in the beginning, but like the Burninator really burnt me out to the point where I just don't like fixing controllers. So, my GH5 controller, it desyncs, and I have no idea what to do to fix it. That's my favorite controller, and if I could get that working again, that would be like the greatest thing. Obviously, like I said in that other video, I am not planning on like coming back. Like, sorry, that's the wrong words to say. But like, I'm taking like, I'm focusing on cubing right now. As much as I do want to play Guitar Hero, I my ambitions with cubing are kind of prohibiting me to do this. But today I had some time after burning my hands out cubing, which didn't lead to a productive session, but I digress. So, I haven't really had controllers. This right here is a controller I tried using before, but detachable neck problems and silicon frets, and putting the neck frets doesn't take long. I don't mind that because that's just like really quick. Outside of the fact of like I don't like sanding the frets, but I have other frets from other guitars I can use, of course. So, this guitar over here, I'll probably switch the faceplates out because I like this Anarchy in the UK faceplate. This is a guitar you've seen me play, undoubtedly. Well, you might have seen me play it. I was using it a lot in like when I was running through Warriors of Rock most recently. Anyway, my problem with this guitar is when I actually modified this, I originally modified it thinking, oh, I have a problem with the strum bar, but I've got switches to fix it, and I thought it was a switch problem, but it was actually a circuit board problem, and the amount of work that it would take to fix it it's like a few hours of work, but I just don't find it worth it because I am doing other things right now, which is not Guitar Hero. But it would be nice to be able to, pick it up and not have issues like I do. Because lately, when I like for Through the Fire and Flames Day at 3/7/22, and I was going for that Clone Hero FC, I had to use that kiosk guitar right here. And the yellow fret, because it's a kiosk guitar, and I like the fact that it's mostly original, although I did have to replace the strum bar, and then I did end up hardwiring it because the, what was it? The connector broke on the neck, which is unfortunate. So it wouldn't work. So I did have to hardwire that. That was the only option. And then I switched out the strum switches with Box navies because the original strum switches broke, and I was never a fan of World Tour strum switches. So I was like, well, you know, I'd like to I'd like to pick it up, but like the strum bar doesn't work because the circuit board has lifted in the area where the solder happens. And I'm like, I do these temporary fixes, and they're like very, very low quality. Like I literally have gone in and I've grabbed like a thin thing of solder and put it in one of the holes, and I've like taped it down to where it should be, and it's not a good thing by any means. It's just the lazy like I don't want to get the soldering iron out kind of thing. And even just getting the soldering iron out, I could get a better fix to it, which sounds ironic given what I'm going to talk about later. But anyway, so I saw like maybe like a week ago or something, a few days ago, I can't quite remember. Maybe it was even yesterday, whatever. I'm not great at remembering things like that. I was on Reddit and I saw on the Clone Hero subreddit someone had uh, taken the picture of like the neck connector, and they're like, "Hey, has anyone ever done this before?" And I look at the picture for like maybe like a minute, and I'm like, I can't see anything out of the ordinary here. And I scroll down to the comments, and I'm like, oh, this guy is a genius. If this works, because it wasn't clear if it worked. So, and I couldn't quite tell from the comments if when I was reading it initially if it worked or if anyone else had tried it. So I just went ahead and I did it without reading that. And as far as I could tell, when I checked back today, just now, before recording this, I think I saw someone say that it worked for them. Or something like that. I can't quite remember. But yeah, they just added little beads of solder on top of each of the pin places on the neck. And it works. It works. And no one figured this out until this one person figured it out and posted it on Reddit. And it's like, what? That's all you have to do. And let me explain. When you put this in, the neck doesn't wiggle around. It doesn't. And again, it's just these little beads of solder. I did it. I probably put too much, but it works. You really don't need as much as I did. Like this camera. Like just put a little bit on, and you put it in. And it actually, like normally they wiggle a little bit. No wiggle. No wiggle. It's in there. It's sturdy. And that's great. And it's still detachable. So, like, if you are in the guitar modding business and need to ship a guitar, you can detach the neck. And you don't have to worry about making your own fancy connector at all. It just works. It just works. I decided to play today and stream a little bit just because I saw Dragon Force yesterday, and Herman Lee, apparently, I guess something must have been wrong with the stream, because so basically, it was at the complex at Salt Lake, and I came with a friend, and we got some concessions, and we kind of would like, it would be convenient if we had a table, and my friend spots the very, very back, there's like this like platform you can go on, and it only has like enough depth for like two people deep, but it's like the whole width anyway. And they have some tables up there, like standing tables, but regardless. So we go up there, up against the rail, and it's elevated. And this venue they're playing at, it's not huge. It's very small, and we may have been like at the very back of the venue, but it, you know, in a normal setting, this probably would be like still very good GA spots, but it's lifted up, it's raised up a little bit, and you're at the very front, so there's no one like blocking your vision. And there's a table, so you can like have your concessions, and we had concessions, so that was convenient. But I digress. All of a sudden, I look down, and because we noticed that the laptop doing the Twitch stream was there, and or like right in the beginning, like, oh look, it's running the Twitch stream there. Like Herman's laptop that has like I forget what kind of laptop it's called, but it has like the three displays on like the bottom part, like in front of the keyboard on the bottom panel of the laptop. Anyways, so all of a sudden we notice Herman's there, working on his stream, trying to fix stuff, and it's like, what the crap? How did he get over here? No one like escorted him over, as far as I'm aware. He just like appeared there. And so I thought it was weird. So I take a picture. I pose like with him in the background, and I post it on Twitter. I'm like, hey, Herman Lee, that's Herman Lee at the computer, or whatever. And I tag him, and he says yes, or he says yeah, or something like that. Very simple response, but like confirmed, because like you can't really see. It's just like his back that you see in the photo. Anyways, so that happened, and I was like, wow. you know what, I should play through them Fire and Flames. And I'm like, but I don't have a controller I can really do that on, because I don't want to. All I have right now is my kiosk guitar that works, and like my Rock Band guitars. I don't want to use them. So, the because the kiosk one, through the Fire and Flames day 3/7/22, which was over a week ago, I got this blood blister, which you can't see, which is probably good that you can't see anyway. It's still there because of the yellow nub. I'm like, if I could just, I don't want to file down like a kiosk controller, because like I said, that one's pretty stock. So anyway, I went ahead and I put the solder dots on, and holy cow, no fret disconnects at all. And this guitar, I'm like 99% sure, was doing it before. So it's absolutely phenomenal that it's such a small thing. And like I said, no one's figured it out until this one guy on Reddit. Not any of the guitar modders, I hold them in high regard, like Katana Mods and JP and Fire Exit, all those guys. They make these great guitars. Everyone loves them. I mean, I've never had one, but everyone talks about how great they are, and I trust that they're good based off of what I hear. So, and the fact that these guys, they're hardwiring their guitars. They're, one of them, I can't remember who. I think it was Katana Mods, made their own connector, which I had thought about and I tried doing to some extent, but I gave up pretty quickly when I realized that this was not like a feasible thing for me to do, and not really worth my time. All it would have taken is just some solder dots, and they can do that so easy, but they didn't know, and I'm sure that they have to know now. But it's weird. It's like, how did we not know? When you hardwire a guitar, especially when someone's just doing it on their own, I'd imagine that the guitar modders that are really good at it have a different process or something. But you detach the neck, and the wires come out, and you can't detach it too far, and so you have to take the whole back off, and then if you're just using electrical tape, which I don't do, I did it on my first hardwire guitar with just electrical tape. If you solder and electrical tape, it's a little bit better, I guess. I still don't find it working 100% of the time, but sometimes the wires, they get undone, and it's just, you have to be very careful. And with this, it's so much more robust, and like I explained, the neck moves none. It doesn't move at all anymore. And it just is how did nobody know that you can do that? And so it's great now because, regardless of, do I have a working Les Paul body, which, by the way, I totally wish that I could be using my Guitar Hero 5 guitar, but it, unfortunately, it desyncs, and I don't know how to fix it. I wish I knew how to fix it. If anyone knows how to fix it, let me know, because that is the guitar I would prefer to be using. But it's nice to know that I have a mechanical fret neck that won't disconnect, that I can throw on any body. This is, I think, the only fully functional body I have right now, and unfortunately, the tilt activates randomly, and I think that this is a 1-2 guitar. I can fix the strum switches, of course, but again, I don't really care to fix a lot of this stuff, purely based on the fact that I'm not playing a lot anymore. This is what I do now. I go to work, and then when I'm done working, I grind this, I go to bed, and I repeat. And then on the weekends, I go to do this, and then I come home, and then I go to work, and then I come home and I do this, and it just, because right now I see a lot of potential in myself with this compared to this. I mean, I guess, there could be more here if I played it more, of course, but this is where my interest is right now, So again, like, I'm not done with Guitar Hero by any means. I will get the NTSC FSFC, 100% will do it. And along with all DLC, once I either get a license transfer or an RGH. But yeah, this is game changing. Just having a neck that you can know is consistent and swap between, like, it is so useful. It is so useful because I I will not hard I don't want to hardwire another guitar, and now I actually don't have to unless I do something crazy, which I don't even know what that would be at this point, because again, I can just put those solder things here and then do these and this separately. So like I honestly cannot think of a situation where I have to hardwire ever again. And the hardwire is easily my least favorite part out of all of this, outside of maybe like sanding the frets down. But if I really wanted to, I could probably like just buy frets off of someone. I don't think that would be a hard thing to do. And I know that Hobby CNC right now, I think, has been working on stuff like that. But I was asked to help with it, but I just don't have the time anymore. So yeah. But I believe they're working on frets. So like, at that point, then there's really not much that's really all that hard. I guess like with what I do, because I don't want to replace the PCB on the strum switches on Les Pauls. I do have to file a fair amount down on the brace on the back part of the Les Paul. But I mean, that's just one thing to file down, and then it's so easy in comparison. Like, I've been talking for 17 minutes on how this one Reddit user has revolutionized Guitar Hero, guitar fixing, modding, whatever. And the worst part is when I look today, there are only like 60 upvotes. Like, this is not a well publicized post. Like, more people need to be aware of this, because this is easily the simplest thing you can do. And I mean, if you want to think about it, like, maybe you don't trust yourself soldering something with a soldering iron. Like, I am certain you could find some sticky conductor dot or whatever that you just stick on top. I'm sure that exists. Like, you could do stuff like that. Because previously, what a lot of people would do if they didn't want to hardwire is they would just like clean the contacts out, or they would put a thing of paper in that would keep things connected, and that did not ever really work that well, at least in my experience. And cleaning it worked well for a little bit, but after a while, I think the big problem is not the dirtiness, but the thickness, and like the fact that it was kind of getting pushed in. I think, I'm not entirely sure on it, but again, cool. But I've talked way too long, and I think I've digressed and gone on like 20 different tangents. So yeah, definitely do this. Super easy. I do recommend taking like the whole neck apart so that you don't have to try to reach inside and worry about not melting plastic and getting things on clean. I think it's just like probably a safer experience if you don't trust yourself that much or whatever. But yeah.